on Nightside, rising rent prices have priced a nonprofit out of their building, and now they may not even have enough money to move somewhere else.
Record snowfall in Spokane today, and it's still coming down in Coeur d'Alene. I'll let you know how much more snow is on the way for the start of the weekend in your first alert forecast.
In Redmond, Washington, a husband and wife killed by a stalker who then killed himself. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Well, those wet roads have started to ice over. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Our team of weather experts have declared today a weather alert day. Let's send it straight over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the First Alert Weather Center. Chris, you talked a lot about Coeur d'Alene in the last couple of hours.
Yes, and that is where we continue to see the snow. Here is a look at current conditions on I-90 and Northwest Boulevard. Still snowing and starting to stick on some of even the heavily traveled roads as we drop below freezing. The road temperatures are well below freezing, and the snow continues in Coeur d'Alene. It's been fairly quiet, some very, very light precipitation off and on in Spokane this evening. Right here in front of the Spokane Arena, traffic is in fine shape, and we're starting to see a little bit of fog developing. Meanwhile, here's a look at our radar, and you can see Coeur d'Alene still in the snow. We have really dried out in eastern Washington. Just a little bit of shower activity left over, and a flurry or two is still possible actually through tomorrow morning. Broader view on our satellite and radar showing most of the snow now is in the Coeur d'Alene area and south onto the Idaho Palouse, and will be continuing to taper off. We've been removed from the winter weather advisory in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but it continues until 4 a.m. for the Northeast Mountains, North Idaho, and especially the central panhandle, where an additional 1 to 4 inches of snow is possible. A flurry or two possible tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're going to be dry in Spokane. Should see some sunshine, should melt a lot of snow. It's going to be a mess. 40 degrees for a high. 47 is our average high. I'll be back with the second half of your weekend forecast and some warmer weather in just a few minutes.
After your first story, we had a number of different churches and different congregations reach out to us to say, hey, how can we help?
It's a resolution to a story we told you about here on Nightside back in December.
Project ID, which helps adults with special needs socialize by giving them a community, was priced out of its building. Now, 4 months later, the nonprofit has finally found a new place to land. New on Nightside, Rania Kaur has the update on the future of Project ID.
For Anna McCoy and her family, Project ID is much more than a service.
Now, Anna's 26 years old, but her maturity level isn't what it will be 5 years from now. She continues to mature, and a big part of that is Project ID.
But the future of the organization has been in limbo. Like many in Spokane, their landlord had raised their rent, pricing them out from their building. The landlord did let them extend their lease for 5 months, but Executive Director Bob Hutchison says they paid double the rent until now.
This is going to be Project ID's new home. It's at the Millwood Presbyterian Church, and they'll have access to this huge gym and 2 different classrooms.
Fortunately, sitting down with the congregation, we told them what our budget was, and they have decided to stay within our budget. So that's the beautiful part.
The space is different than they're used to, and Hutchinson says it's safer.
Almost every day, someone has a new camp set up at our facility that we have to ask them to please leave, and we have a lot of drug paraphernalia and stuff like that. We didn't feel so safe to have our members going outside at all.
McCoy is thrilled they're finally home.
Without Project ID, our daughter Anna would be doing okay, but with Project ID, she is thriving.
How do you feel?
Relieved.
Project ID will be moving into their new location on April 2nd. For more information on how you can help them, find this story on our website at kxly.com. In Spokane Valley, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
New on Nightside. Criminal indictments may be coming for former President Trump over the hush money he paid to porn actress Stormy Daniels. According to ABC News, Manhattan's district attorney recently informed Mr. Trump of his right to testify before the grand jury. Prosecutors typically only invite targets of investigations to testify if they're moving forward with criminal charges. Mr. Trump calls the investigation a witch hunt, insisting he has done nothing wrong. Also new on Nightside, more allegations are emerging against New York Congressman George Santos.
Well, this time a credit card fraud operation that landed his former roommate in federal prison and later got him deported to his home country of Brazil. In a sworn statement to the FBI, Justice Department, and Secret Service, that former roommate says that Santos taught him how to skim credit cards, installing devices on ATMs to capture a cardholder's PIN. He was arrested in Seattle in 2017, but didn't tell law enforcement about Santos because he was afraid of retaliation. Sources familiar with the case say that Santos was interviewed by Secret Service agents in 2017 and that he lived at the same address as the man making the allegations.
Well, new on Nightside, Republicans in 18 states, including Idaho, are pushing legislation to outlaw or restrict drag show performances.
But advocates say the bills are discriminatory against the LGBTQ community and could even affect their livelihoods and businesses. CNN's Lucy Kavanaugh reports.
Drag actually saved my life.
For Timothy Sherwood, drag is more than just a job.
I feel beautiful, I feel ethereal, I feel colorful, I feel bright. And that is the last step.
He left a teaching career in Dallas to perform full-time as Kylie O'Hara Fatale.
Kylie showed me who my true kind of self was, my true voice.
But that voice could soon be silenced in Texas, which is considering at least 4 bills seeking to restrict drag performances.
If these bills become law, my entire livelihood is at risk. I don't even want to imagine a life where I can't be the person that I worked so hard to finally figure out who I am. To fully have all that just ripped away, it would be soul-crushing.
Grown men dancing in their underwear in front of children, asking for money.
Texas State Representative Brian Slayton says the bills are designed to protect minors.
I think it's important to protect children from any adult that wants to sexualize them. Right now, the only group of people that's trying to sexualize children are the drag performances.
Drag has become a target amongst conservatives, with shows and even literacy events like Drag Queen Story Hour sparking protests and targeted attacks from right-wing extremist groups in some states.
The book is called Love the World by
Texas is just one of at least 18 states seeking to restrict drag. Rights groups say it's part of a broader attack on the queer community.
We're seeing states across this country in a race to the bottom in terms of attacking LGBTQ plus folks. Over 400 bills attacking our community have been introduced, and it's only March of this year.
Many of the proposed bills would make it illegal for an establishment to host a drag show unless it's classified as a sexually oriented business.
If somebody came in and said today, you're a sexually oriented business, that would be it.
You'd have to close your doors.
You'd have to close my doors. Yeah, there's no way.
Jay Anderson runs a distillery and grill near Fort Worth, Texas.
We're going to keep this show moving right along.
His business has already taken a hit when an attempt to host a family-friendly drag brunch featuring his son as a performer resulted in protests.
I'm here to support people that don't indoctrinate and groom little 8-year-old kids.
This map tracks basically all the death threats that we received.
Thank you guys again.
This drag show causes me to close my business and I lose all the money I put into it, but I save one kid who doesn't kill himself. I don't care.
Well, we are just less than 48 hours from the greatest Sunday of the year, not the Super Bowl that should be played on Saturday. But I'm talking, of course, about Selection Sunday, and we can expect to hear 3 of our local teams get their names called for the NCAA tournament. The Gonzaga men will be one of the higher seeds in the tournament yet again this year. They clinched their spot into the dance by winning the West Coast Conference tournament on Tuesday night, blowing out rival St. Mary's. And according to ESPN's Joe Lunardi, the Zags are still on that 3 line headed to Columbus Columbus, Ohio for the first 2 rounds, but a lot can change over the next 2 days. And the Gonzaga women also headed to the tournament, but it won't be as a conference champion. They were upset by Portland in the WCC Tournament Championship on Tuesday afternoon, and that loss is going to end up hurting them as they're projected into a 9 seed, and they're headed to Columbia, South Carolina, where they could face the #1 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks in that second round if the result holds. And the Washington State women also have a lot to celebrate over the past week. They won their first Pac-12 championship in program history. They're going to be headed to the tournament for the 3rd straight year. Also a program first. ESPN Bracketology has them as a 6th seed and headed to Durham, North Carolina for the first 2 rounds. And coming up a bit later on in sports, we're going to have more from a busy week in college basketball, as well as check in on the Seattle Seahawks as they've officially found their man at quarterback. Aaron, Kirsten, send it back over to you.
Alex, thank you. Crazy video of a double murder suspect in Oregon running from the courtroom.
In Redmond, Washington, a husband and wife killed by a stalker who then killed himself. That's coming up on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tony Award-winning Best Musical, Dear Evan Hansen.
Law Tigers present the 18th Annual Spokane Motorcycle Show this weekend at the Spokane Fairgrounds. One Wheel Revolution Stunt Show, Swap Meet, Budweiser Biker Bar, Law Tigers Great Gas Giveaway, and more. The Spokane Motorcycle Show this weekend at the Spokane Fairgrounds.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a heat pump with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free heat pump from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
How would you like to win a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Walker's Furniture and a chance to meet Drew Timmy with some great autographed gear? Just go to teamupwithtimmy.com. And while you're there, consider making a donation to one of our charities.
Attention! Save up to 50% at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa tent sale this weekend at Kootenai County Fairgrounds. Why wait 100 days with a local dealer when you can have a hot tub now? Over 50 models on display. Every floor model must go. Come see revolutionary swim spas that can heat or chill the water. Bad credit, no problem. 100% in-house financing, no turndowns. Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa blowout sale at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. Call 1-833-HOUR-SPAS or go to discountspas.com.
Law Tigers present the 18th Annual Spokane Motorcycle Show this weekend at the Spokane Fairgrounds. One Wheel Revolution Stunt Show, Swap Meet, Budweiser Biker Bar, Law Tigers Great Gas Giveaway, and more. The Spokane Motorcycle Show this weekend at the Spokane Fairgrounds.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shine 1049.
It has been an impressive day for snow across the areas, particularly right around Spokane and in Coeur d'Alene, where the snow continues to fall. We did have a record snowfall in Spokane, almost 5 inches of snow. That is a lot this time of year. That is more than we get in the entire month by average of March. Our old record for the day is 2.8. 2 inches below our amount today, and that was set back in 1950. Here's a look at our forecast radar, and I have to have a disclaimer here that our forecast radar has been very disappointing with this system. It has wanted to have it long gone hours ago, and yet it remains. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Our current time, it initializes fairly well, which is a good sign, and it does want to keep at least a slight chance of snow around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, as well as the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho, where we have our winter weather advisory through tomorrow morning, and then start to dry out a little more substantially. However, as we get into the afternoon, the heat of the day, enough instability behind that area of low pressure that we could see some hit and miss rain, snow, or graupel showers around the region, hopefully avoiding the St. Patrick's Day parade in downtown Spokane or whatever fun activity you might have outside. But I wouldn't rule it out. It's been a very unpredictable pattern over the last 24 hours. Overnight lows tonight, not much cooler than what they are now, but we will be below freezing, and the road temperatures are already well below freezing, and we're seeing that ice on the roads. We're going to do a lot of melting tomorrow, not only with temperatures well above freezing, but the sun angle so high this late in the season. Those parking lots, sidewalks, and streets should be in much better shape by this time tomorrow. It will cool down again, however, down below freezing tomorrow night, so you may run into some ice on Sunday, springing forward Saturday night and into Sunday, a high Sunday of 46. We're dry until Sunday night, and then more wet weather comes in, but it looks like next week it's mostly going to be rain, with high temperatures back up pretty close to average. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. A murder-suicide in Redmond, Washington. A husband and wife killed by a stalker who then took his own life. Hannah Knowles reports.
3 people now dead, a husband and wife, and the man who pulled the trigger. Redmond police say the wife ran a podcast, and that's how her alleged stalker knew her.
We may never know why somebody would do this.
On a quiet residential street in Redmond, gunfire erupts overnight. 3 people now dead after a potential stalker breaks into this home.
They said that he was stalking her, so there has certainly been a history.
Redmond police say the shooter is a 38-year-old truck driver from Texas. He had a no-contact order filed against him from the woman living here.
This is just a tragic situation that we don't often see that in Redmond.
Her mom was the one who called 911. She managed to escape and run for help.
He had an altercation with the mother. Sounds like he shoved her, and then she was able to escape to the neighbors.
Her 35-year-old husband, shot in the chest, found dead on the front lawn.
This is just a really unfortunate event that happened, and I'm not sure what could make someone do that, to be honest.
As for the extent of the relationship between the suspect and the wife, police say it started after he discovered her podcast. We don't know if they ever met in person, but Redmond police say this is a good reminder that you never know who you're connecting with online. In Redmond, Hannah Knowles, Como News.
Well, here's some video that's pretty disturbing of a double murder suspect in Oregon running from the courtroom. You can see the suspect bolt through the door once his handcuffs and leg shackles were removed, which is required by Oregon law. He just outran those deputies. After a few hours, they managed to track him down and take him back into custody.
Well, new on Nightside, the U.S. military service academies have set a grim record. Sexual assaults and harassments are at their highest level since record keeping started in 2006. Sexual assault rose 18%, and harassment incidents went up 13% among women and 4% among men. Most of the assaults happened at on-campus social events and were perpetrated by fellow students. The Pentagon estimates more than 1,100 people at the academies were sexually assaulted, while nearly 4,000 were harassed.
New on Nightside. The gunman who went on a shooting rampage on Michigan State University's campus last month had a note in his pocket, and MSU police released images of that note. It was written on spiral notebook paper dated February 12th, the day before the shooting. One page starts with, quote, "They hurted me," and he repeatedly wrote, "They hate me." The gunman wrote that he is the leader of a 20-person group, though investigators with several agencies, including the FBI, determined he acted alone. He also listed locations of other targets, but police investigated and cleared those places.
Vulgar or vegan? That was the debate over a certain vanity plate. We'll show it to you coming up.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
Okay, I brought you here today because it's March Mania and people want to score big deals. So tell me what you got.
Bigger trade-in values.
That's great, but how about you?
Great financing options.
We need more.
How about 2 years factory scheduled service and roadside assistance with Toyota Care?
Now that's what I'm talking about. If you want slam dunk deals, you gotta go to Finley.
Finley Toyota's downtown.
Did you know that Banner Furnace and Fuel is a locally owned propane company? That's important because it means consistent pricing. No games, no gimmicks, and no hidden fees. You can relax knowing that a propane quote from Banner is what shows up on your bill. No hazmat fee and no delivery fee. That's why people really trust Banner. So go ahead, compare your winter heat bill, and then call Banner for your propane quote. Banner Furnace and Fuel, locally owned for over 90 years.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, you'll find countless chairs, including our legendary Lazy Boy recliner, in styles to meet your every need. And yes, that includes naps. It's the St. Patrick's Day sale at Lazy Boy. For a limited time, get 25% off everything, plus an extra 5% off. Plus, you'll get 0% interest financing for 36 months. And rest well, knowing everyone's happy. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
It's ski report time, and I want to start off with this amazing photo. Showed up in my inbox from Lookout Pass. Says it's snowing again, and this lovely lady celebrated her 80th birthday skiing the POW at Lookout Pass. I would like to meet her. She's awfully good. I don't think I could keep up with her, but I sure would like to be skiing when I'm 80. Here's a look at your ski report. Everybody's gotten new snow. It's going to be a fantastic powder day tomorrow. It was a little bit breezy today. That will not be the case tomorrow, and we still have a chance of new snow tomorrow, particularly in the North Idaho resorts, but also 49 degrees north. Mount Spokane, last night of night skiing is tomorrow. You're going to want to enjoy that. They've got machine groomed and powder. Silver Mountain, 26 for a high tomorrow with machine groomed and stashes of powder as well. Pick of the night tonight, it's from our friend Jeff O'Shea. How could I resist this gorgeous shot from today? He said he got 5 inches of new snow, although that compressed as it warmed. And I bet he's gotten more since he's taken this shot of his wonderful spot there at Liberty Lake. He says the fishing season opened at Liberty Lake on March 1st, but the lake is still frozen, so no one is doing any fishing just yet, but a really beautiful spot. And Kirsten and Aaron, we have been officially invited to go sit in those chairs. I don't know if you would prefer to wait until the lake thaws and, you know, we don't have to sit in the snow, but it's an open invitation at Jeff's house to go enjoy the views there.
Sweet.
I tried to buy Aaron a chair for his birthday because of Jeff's invitation. He can make his own chairs.
He does.
I do have a couple of chairs. I'll bring one over. I'll bring my own.
Bring your own chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if anyone has any ideas for birthday gifts.
Renaissance man.
Still looking.
It starts with a B and ends with an ear.
That's right. Thank you, Chris. Well, new on Nightside, it is Oscar night this Sunday. Get ready to root for your favorite with this rundown from David Muir.
The big night Sunday.
Let's do it.
The 95th Academy Awards set to make history.
Having any fun yet?
In fact, this year, first-time nominees are dominating the award categories. 16 of the 20 acting contenders nominated for the first time, including all of the nominees in the Best Actor category. Austin Butler for Elvis.
So don't you mess around with me.
And Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin.
Do you know what you used to be?
No, Patrick, what did I used to be?
Nice.
And for the first time in history,
The Way of Water connects all things.
2 sequels, Avatar, The Way of Water, and Top Gun Maverick, are both nominated in the Best Picture category.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
Also in that category, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That movie leading with 11 nominations for the night. The most nominations ever for Asian actors and actresses, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actress for Michelle Yeoh, the first Asian actress ever nominated in the category.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
So many Hollywood veterans nominated, including Angela Bassett, up for Best Supporting Actress in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Have I not given everything?
Also in that category, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Now you may only see a pile of boring forms and numbers, but I see a story.
And up for Best Supporting Actor, Ke Huy Quan. And we remember what he said about this second chance, this comeback early in this award season.
To all those at home who are watching, who are struggling and waiting to be seen, please keep on going, because the spotlight will one day find you.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Platinum Mechanical.
This Sunday, it's the event of the year, the Oscars on ABC, with performances by Rihanna, David Byrne, Stephanie Hsu and Son Lux, Lenny Kravitz, Diane Warren with Sophia Carson, Raul Suppligan, Caleb Oriva, and more, with awards for the greatest dream makers of the year.
The Oscars. And the Oscar goes to?
Jimmy Kimmel hosts the Oscars, live Sunday on ABC.
Celebrate the grand opening of Click It RV's new store in Yakima Valley, or Click It RV in Spokane, and get the same grand opening specials on travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and Class A and C motorhomes. We guarantee it. A mile north of the Y on Newport Highway, or clickitrv.com.
Walker's Furniture is overstocked with over $15 million of inventory, and more shipments are arriving daily, so we're forced to have an overstock clearance sale. Get big discounts of 15, 30, even up to 40% off select items in the store, with some discontinued items up to 70% off.
Our loss is your gain, as we have to make more room in our warehouses for new shipments arriving daily.
So for a short time, you can get big discounts
while supplies last at Walker's.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see all that you are? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you. Kaiser Permanente.
Monday, road closure that will affect Northside commuters for months to come. We'll take a closer look at the massive project and help you find an easier route. Plus, who took home the gold? Watch our Oscar night recap Monday on Good Morning Northwest, beginning at 5 a.m.
Celebrate the grand opening of Click It RV's new store in Yakima Valley, or Click It RV in Spokane, and get the same grand opening specials, plus liquidation prices on all 20 to 22 RVs. Nobody will beat our prices. We guarantee it. A mile north of the Y on Newport Highway, or clickitrv.com.
Well, that is Washington State basketball player Miles Rice ringing the bell, announcing he has finished cancer treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The point guard had to sit out for the season because of the treatment, but the school says he's working hard to get back onto the court for next year. Now, Rice was set to join the team in Las Vegas today if the Cougs could advance to the Pac-12 tournament semifinals, but Oregon had other ideas in the quarterfinals yesterday. Well, the Ducks, they came out of the gates and jumped all over the Cougs in the first half, going up by as many as 19 points. To Washington State's credit, there was no quit in this team as they cut the deficit down to 8 at the break. Then in the second, they managed to take a small lead before Oregon shut the door on any kind of upset and any hopes that the Wazoo faithful had at making the NCAA tournament for the first time in 15 years. Now the team is going to have to wait and see if they can make it into the NIT instead for the second straight year.
We're hopeful. We obviously had good success last year. We played an incredibly tough schedule, non-conference, and I would like to think that our net would be in shape and our finishing 5th in a Power 5 league, the 5th place team in a really good league, that I think our odds would be good. And we're going to play. We're going to prepare as if we are for sure, and hopefully find out where we'll be playing on Sunday.
Well, one team that is headed to the NCAA tournament is the Gonzaga men. They clinched their spot into the dance by winning the West Coast Conference tournament on Tuesday night, blowing out St. Mary's. Now, according to ESPN's bracketology, the Zags are still as a 3 seed headed to Columbus, Ohio for the first 2 rounds, but a lot's going to change over the next 2 days, so just hang tight. And the accolades keep pouring in for star forward Drew Timme, as today he was named a Naismith Award semifinalist, which is given to the nation's top overall player. Timme is 3rd in the country in made field goals and and 6 in points. He's also shooting better than 62% from the field. Earlier this month, Drew announced this would be his final year at GU, and reality may be starting to sink in ahead of his final NCAA tournament.
And it's just like any tournament. You're playing because it's the last time you can put that uniform on. You don't know if you're going to get hurt. You don't know if you're going to, I don't know, something's going to happen. Every time you put that jersey on could be your last, so it's nothing different.
And the Gonzaga women also headed to the NCAA tournament, but not as conference champions after they were upset by Portland in the WCC tournament championship on Tuesday afternoon. And that loss could end up hurting them big time as they were projected into a number 9 seed in the latest bracketology and headed to Columbia, South Carolina, where they could face number 1 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks in the second round. And the Washington State women also going to be headed to the tournament after their first Pac-12 championship in program history. They're going to be headed back to the tournament for the 3rd straight year. Now, according to bracketology, they are a 6th seed and headed to Durham, North Carolina for the first 2 rounds. Of course, we will know the seedings and locations of those teams on Sunday afternoon. Julian Minnesota and myself will be over at the McCarthy Athletic Center and have all the coverage for you Sunday afternoon. Switching over to the NFL, the negotiations were short between the Seattle Seahawks and quarterback Geno Smith. Earlier this week, the two sides agreed to a 3-year deal worth up to $105 million. Smith is coming off his best year, which was saw him named as a Pro Bowler and also the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year. Now, while they could have tested the free agent market, Geno says he wanted to remain in Seattle.
That's all I really want to do is play football and be a great player. And I believe this franchise is second to none. They've helped me grow in so many aspects of my life and my career. And I can only, just be positive about the future and all the things that we have in front of us. We don't like to look too far ahead. We stay in the moment here, but we have a bright, bright future, and I'm very pleased to be a part of that.
And today, the Chicago Bears traded the first overall pick in the draft to the Carolina Panthers, who are expected to take a QB with their selection, meaning Seattle should essentially have the pick of the litter when they are on the clock at number 5 next month in the draft. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
The Floor Trader Outlet's LVP blowout sale is going on now. Glue down LVP starting at only 59 cents. Floating LVP as low as $1.49. Spokane's lowest prices. The Floor Traders LVP blowout sale.
It's where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division and Francis.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Get hooked on the outdoors at the 61st Annual Bighorn Show, March 16th through the 19th at the Spokane County Fairgrounds. There's something for everyone in the family at the Bighorn Show. Visit the Trophy Territory. Enjoy live music. Go fishing with the kids at Fishing World. Visit with hundreds of outdoor adventure vendors. Learn cooking tips from local celebrity chef Adam Hegstead, or just kick back and have a cold one at our Sportsman's Lounge. Get your tickets today at bighornshow.com.
Walker's Furniture is overstocked, and we need to make room. So this week, we're having an overstock sale. Get big discounts of 15 to 30%, even up to 70% off to help us reduce this inventory immediately.
While supplies last at Walker's.
You broke this heart of stone. Right where you
The Floor Trader Outlet's LVP blowout sale is going on now. Glue down LVP starting at only 59 cents. Floating LVP as low as $1.49. Spokane's lowest prices. The Floor Traders LVP blowout sale.
It's where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division and Francis.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Looks like we're going to stay dry at the St. Patrick's Day parade, but expect some slush and puddles, and might want to wear your rain boots just in case.
Get those galoshes out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of green, normally salad dressing goes on salad, but I guess they're putting it in dessert now. It's an odd combination that Hidden Valley Ranch and this ice cream company have teamed up to create. There it is. Ranch flavored ice cream.
That should stay hidden.
Oh,
that definitely should not
they
be
put
served.
Idaho potatoes in their ice cream. That company, I have noticed. They'll. Well, I guess if they pick the potatoes, they must know what they're doing.
Gotta do something with the potatoes no one wants.